Hello everybody and welcome to Mixes from Africa. We're doing a series where we're looking at the Mixcraft inbuilt plugins. And today we're going to be having a look at the Classic Reverb. According to Wikipedia, a reverb effect or reverb is an audio effect applied to a sound signal to simulate reverberation. And reverberation is created when a sound or signal is reflected, causing numerous reflections to build up and then decay as the sound is absorbed by the surfaces or objects in the space. In very simple terms, reverb is simply the simulation of a sound in a space. For example, a sound in a room. For example, a sound in the middle of the desert. And the reason being is that we human beings are used to naturally hear somebody or naturally hear sounds in a context of space. Hearing a sound in a non-contextual space is not natural. That's why we prefer sounds with reverb in it, because it makes sense to us that that sound is coming from a certain space. Now, moving on from that Wikipedia moment, let's have a look at our Classic Reverb. The Classic Reverb is a very decent plugin inbuilt into Mixcraft. It has several parameters. We have size, damping, pre-delay, high damp, low cut, early reflection, mix, and level. I'm not going to go into detail into all of these parameters. If you want me to do that, please leave a comment down below. Nevertheless, I'll be playing around with a few of them, so just keep watching. First of all, we're going to use the Classic Reverb as an insert type of plugin, meaning we're going to insert it directly into the track that we want the reverb to be in. Alright, so I have my vocal right here. Let's insert the plugin. And so we have the sound, the vocal is put into a certain space. And so Mixcraft has already done for us a lot of presets right here. You can browse through them to select the one that you want. I'm going to select this empty hole. And then I'm going to play around with the mix. The mix parameter simply determines the amount of effect and the amount of original sound that will be blended together. So I want to hear more of the vocal than the reverb, meaning I'm going to have to move the knob in the direct mix direction.
Du fond de mon cœur, je t'aime.
That's alright.
Seigneur, tu es mon tout, et tu prends soin de moi. Jésus, de moi. Ouh, tu prends soin de moi. Hey, mon roi.
So please note that we are using, in this way, we're using the plugin as an insert, meaning we're inserting it directly into the channel of our vocal. Stay tuned for the part where we'll use the, stay tuned for the part where we're going to use the plugin as a send. Moving on. I feel I want to reduce a bit of those high frequencies, so I'm going to maximize the damping. So if I was to go to maximum damping, there's nothing. I've cut all the high frequencies.
Tu ne me quitteras jamais, non, non. Prends soin de moi, je chanterai ton nom.
Okay, listening to that reverb, I want to reduce a bit of those high frequencies that are remaining around. So I want to dampen them right here in the high damp. So let's reduce a bit of that.
Tu prends soin de moi, je chanterai ton nom à jamais.
Yeah. Now I feel I've lost it. Let me go back to the mix and increase more of the effect.
Quand je t'appelle, tu me réponds. Tu es là pour moi tout le temps. Tu ne me quitteras jamais, non, non.
Not bad. Let's A and B. Before,
laquelle tu resteras.
There's no space. Sounds a bit unnatural. Let's add in the space.
Tu prends soin de moi. Je chanterai ton nom.
Awesome. Let me add my guitar so that we have a bit of context.
Dans ma vie, on t'a des peines, on t'a des joies. Seigneur, tu es toujours là pour moi.
Let me remove the reverb.
Quand je tombe, tu me relèves.
Dry.
Je suis faible, tu me donnes la force.
With.
Raison pour laquelle tu resteras. Mon pacificateur, tu prends soin de moi.
Something like that. So you could still play with other parameters if you want, according to your taste. Next, we're going to use the effect plugin as a send. In order to do that, we're going to have to create a send track. I'm going to call it reverb. And then I'm going to place my reverb in here. The classic reverb. There we go. And I'm going to choose the one I was using, empty hall. I could use empty hall send here, but let me just use the one I used before, and I'm going to show you how to make it into a send. The difference between a plugin that has been inserted and a plugin that is send is that on the send track, the signal on the send track is 100% the effect. But on the vocal track, the signal is a blended. The signal getting out of the reverb is a blended effect between the vocal and the reverb. But on the send track, the signal that is there is 100% the reverb. So how do we do that? We come here on the mix parameter and we turn it all the way to effect. And that's all. Having done that, some of this signal, which is 100% the reverb, we're going to come to our vocal track here, and we're going to be sending a certain amount of it, a certain amount of this reverb into the vocal. So let's do that.
T'as des joies, Seigneur, tu es toujours là pour moi. Quand je tombe, tu me relèves.
So the more I increase, the more I send it, the more I'm sending there.
Tu me donnes la force, raison pour laquelle tu resteras. Mon pacificateur, tu prends soin de moi.
A bit of that high frequency that I need to dampen again.
Mon libérateur, tu prends soin de moi. Je chanterai ton nom, mon roi. Tu prends soin de moi. Je chanterai ton nom à jamais. Seigneur, quand je t'appelle, tu me réponds. Tu es là pour moi tout le temps. Tu ne me quitteras jamais, non, non. Toujours là pour moi. Quand je tombe, tu me relèves. Quand je suis faible, tu me donnes la force. Raison pour laquelle tu resteras.
But there's also a way of using a reverb as a special kind of effect. Let me show you guys what I do. I'm going to add in another send. Let me call it reverb effect. I'll be adding in the classic reverb still, because that's the one we're looking at. And I'm going to select this, what I like, it's called big and bright. Big and bright send. Send just means that the mix knob is all the way to the effect side. Next, what I'm going to do, I'm going to come over here, reverb effect, give a good number of it, pretty loud. And then I'm going to select some places where I want to create that kind of reverbish effect. So let's listen first and choose a place.
On t'a des peines, on t'a des joies. Seigneur, tu es toujours là pour moi. Quand je tombe, tu me relèves.
Like there. Let's say we want to add a special effect there. So I'm going to select that part. I can just select it. Then I increase that area. Let's see what we have.
Quand je tombe, tu me relèves. Quand je suis.
Yeah, something like that. Then you play around with it so that it's not too much. Let's do it like that and then reduce a bit. See here.
Quand je tombe, tu me relèves. Quand je suis.
There you go. So those are just a few things that you can do with this amazing plugin by Mixcraft. Don't forget to go through the various presets that were offered by Mixcraft. I know you're going to enjoy. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And I'll see you again next time.